Hello, and welcome to No Access Required. So, on the screen behind me, there's a bit of footage being shown from a channel called People Make Games. Now, I'm all for workers' rights. I don't think, how can I put this? The hardest thing to balance is what is good for the company and what is good for the employees. The two don't often mesh together comfortably. What we find more often than not is there's a push me, pull me, tug of war that goes on constantly. And what we've found historically is that the more powerful a company is, the least likely they are to be worried about workers' rights, the well-being of workers. Now, that's not a universal thing, but it does exist. It has existed and potentially will always exist. And so, behind me, we have various employees of ROCKSTAR Games Edinburgh who have been sacked by ROCKSTAR Games. They've been sacked apparently for gross misconduct. Now, it's important to note that gross misconduct is a charge that you can level at an employee as a company that allows you to dispense with that employee with little or no due process. And it appears that everyone who's decided that they want to join the union has been dispensed with. They've been sacked. Now, I'm not laughing because these people have been sacked. I'm laughing at the absurdity of it. That ROCKSTAR, a behemoth of a company, have just, what on the face of it looks like sacking a bunch of people who all are involved in an effort to unionize. I mean, what's wrong with this picture? Are they really that stupid? I mean, the thing is, you can hear the conversation. It will have been common knowledge that these people in Edinburgh were getting involved in a union because they have to deal with management. And it appears the management, whilst there was no real danger of unionisation, have decided to just let them get on with it. Or let the children play. But as the unionisation has developed, it seems, and become more real, the information has made its way up the ladder, and some high-level manager has said, "What? Really? Oh, fuck him. Just get rid of him. Fuck it." Within gaming, there's a culture of crunch. And for those of you who don't know, crunch refers to the practice of feverishly beating and whipping your workforce just before the completion of a game. Because it appears as though, in the gaming industry, timetables are really hard to stick to. And I know creative endeavours are a very nebulous thing. I'm aware of that. And minds are changed all the time as new things come to light, new designs, new ways of doing things, potentially new technology. And months of work can get scrubbed in favour of the new hotness, whatever that might be. And so invariably, as a game gets developed throughout months and years, there has to be a point at which the game will get released. Obviously, again. But usually, the development process is behind. And so, the closer to the release date, the more work needs to be done to get the product out of the door. And we've seen myriad games released which have been in no fit state to be released upon their release. Todd Howard famously said, "It's not the state of the game on release that's important. It's where it eventually lands." Basically trying to excuse and normalize the fact that a game that's released which is broken is fine. It's quite normal. And it isn't normal. But we see it all the time now. Because the development process, it appears, will just go round and round and round if they don't commit to a release date. So within this culture of crunch, there's another unwelcome layer. And that involves the culture of layoffs. Games companies have this inherent ability, need, desire, more than likely, because, profits, to lay off huge swathes of workers at the end of development. They don't need it anymore. Get rid of them. And it's in the frame of this culture of crunch and layoffs that we see these sackings. A union represents a direct threat to the fundamental cultures that have built up within gaming industry. The upshot of this is, ultimately, that unions can't be allowed to exist in the current culture. So, do I think ROCKSTAR Games is involved in union busting? Abso-fucking-lutely. You have to be a moron to think that they're not, for the reasons I've already outlined. And if you look at this from a business point of view, you can't blame them. Because what happens? You end up going through crunch, you put your heart and soul into something, and then after the game has been released, there is the very real possibility that they're going to lay you off anyway. Do let me know what you think in the comments below. Do like, subscribe and share. And until next time, have a great day.